Mazda's CX-5 has long been a favourite for Aussie families, reigning supreme as the best-selling SUV for 10 years. But 2020 was a year of big change, which also saw Mazda lose its top-selling SUV position to another brand. Since the launch of the new generation RAV4, Toyota has eaten away at Mazda's lead, largely thanks to the popularity of its hybrid powertrain, and now the CX-5 is relegated to second position, with the likes of the Hyundai Tucson, Kia Sportage and Subaru Forester eager to close the gap. Well, we've been living with this car for 6 months to see if you and your family should still consider this as your next car. But before we begin, we've actually broken this video up into handy little chapters, so if you're short on time, you can skip ahead to the area that interests you the most, using the time codes found on your screen now. And if you're watching on YouTube, it's even easier because you can just use the timeline down below to scrub ahead. We've got the top-spec Akera Turbo petrol here, but we've reviewed heaps of other rivals including the Toyota RAV4, Kia Sportage and more. So be sure to hit like, subscribe and that bell notification icon to stay on top of all our latest content. And while you're down there, why not give us a thumbs up? It really helps out the channel. And you'll also find a link to the full written review in the description down below. But let's kick things off. This is the top-spec petrol-powered CX-5, known as the Akera Turbo Petrol, kind of giving away its party piece in the name. But how much will one of these set you back? Well, when I picked the car up in April, it wore a sticker price of $51,880 before on-road costs. And since then, the price has actually crept up by $200 thanks to currency fluctuations. But with a big price tag also comes a long list of features, and this CX-5 certainly comes fully featured. Here's what you need to know.
Standard equipment includes a glass sunroof, push-button start, dual-zone climate control, heated and cooled front seats, heated rear outboard seats, Nappa leather seat trim, colour head-up display, heated steering wheel and a 7-inch driver display. But in my 6 months with the car, the handiest features were the powered tailgate and keyless entry, which are super handy additions while juggling a baby. On the multimedia side of things, the CX-5 Akera scores a 10.25-inch screen, which looks primo thanks to the thin bezels. It's a noticeable upgrade over the 8-inch unit found in cheaper variants, and features include satellite navigation, digital radio, and Android Auto and Apple CarPlay compatibility.
However, this Mazda CX-5 is missing a wireless smartphone charger. Not so much of an issue for people like me who like to use Android Auto, but it is a noticeable absence on an otherwise feature-rich model. Mazda has taken a more is less approach when it comes to the styling of its second generation CX-5, which launched in 2017. And here it's a bit more of a refinement of that idea. Despite being 4 years old, the CX-5 still looks absolutely fabulous thanks to Mazda's unique design language. Up front, you'll see a large grille and these slender headlights that add to the sporty and aggressive nature of the car, as well as this subtle bonnet bulge. From the side, you'll notice the CX-5 Akera wears 19-inch wheels to help fill out its arches, while the subtle creases in the bodywork really give a dynamic stance when the car's sitting still. I particularly like these blacked out window surrounds, which give a nice contrast to Mazda's signature Soul Red paintwork. At the rear, you'll see a roof-mounted rear spoiler up here, as well as 2 exhaust tips down below, adding to the CX-5's overall sporty look.
And inside, the confident styling continues thanks to a Nappa leather-clad interior that is well designed and premium to the touch. The 7-inch customizable driver display is also a welcome feature, displaying as much or as little information as you want.
Overall, I'd give the Mazda CX-5 2 big thumbs up for design. It looks distinct and premium and not generic like some of the other SUVs that you'll see on the market. Potential buyers should keep in mind though that in 2022, Mazda plans to launch a new look CX-5, which in higher grades like this Akera is set to ditch the black plastic cladding in favour of body-coloured panels. Key to any family car is its practicality, and while this CX-5 offers a long list of features and looks great parked on your driveway, it's this area that might turn off a few buyers. Here in the front seat there's plenty of head, shoulder and leg room, but installing a rear-facing child seat means that it eats away at front passenger space in a substantial way. In fact, we've found that this seat has become all but unusable for anyone bigger than a child. But Up here, you will see storage options that include generous door bins that will take large bottles, 2 cup holders here, an underarm storage cubby here, as well as this little tray for your smartphone and wallet. Here in the back seat, you'll find that space is adequate, if not generous, but there are heaps of family-orientated features, such as this fold-down armrest, complete with 2 cup holders that are perfect for baby bottles or regular size bottles. You'll also find some map pockets here, which you can use to store books and spare dummies. Handily, there's also these 2 air vents down below, which means that you can keep the temperature perfect for the entire family. Moving to the boot, the Mazda CX-5 offers 442 litres of volume, with all 5 seats in place. And while that's smaller than rivals like the Toyota RAV4 and Ford Escape, it's still big enough to fit a full-size pram.
Also missing from the boot are bag hooks, an essential feature for new families that are constantly topping up supplies of milk, bread and formula. This, coupled with the limited room, mean your groceries sort of just sit on or beside your pram and have a tendency to spill out on the journey home from the supermarket. However, Mazda has included a seat folding mechanism in the boot, making the loading of longer objects a little bit easier.
Also key to any family car is its list of safety features, and it's here where the Mazda CX-5 really leads the pack.
As standard, the 2021 CX-5 is fitted with autonomous emergency braking with pedestrian detection, blind spot monitoring, rear cross traffic alert, a reversing camera, lane departure warning, lane keep assist, adaptive cruise control, tyre pressure monitoring, rear parking sensors, automatic wipers, and driver attention alert. It's truly an exhaustive list and made even better that the safety equipment is fitted to every new CX-5 leaving Mazda showrooms. In fact, so comprehensive is the standard safety that our top-spec Akera only adds a surround view monitor and traffic sign recognition. 2 nice to have but nowhere near essential features. All of this means the Mazda CX-5 wears a maximum 5-star ANCAP safety rating from its test in 2017, with particularly high scores in the adult and child occupant protection categories.
Pop the bonnet on this CX-5 Akera Turbo Petrol, and you'll find a 2.5 litre turbo petrol engine, outputting 170 kilowatts and 420 newton meters. Now, these numbers are of particular note because it actually makes this CX-5 one of the most potent mainstream mid-size SUVs in Australia.
Sure, the Ford Escape has a little bit more power and diesel models have a higher torque output, but if you want a punchy but smooth powertrain that has enough grunt to make hot hatches think twice, this CX-5 is the way to go. Paired with the 2.5 litre turbo petrol engine is a 6-speed automatic transmission that drives all 4 wheels, enabling a 0 to 100 km acceleration run in just 7.7 seconds. Not bad for a family SUV. 3 other engines are also available across the CX-5 lineup. A base 115 kilowatt 200 Nm 2-litre petrol, a 140 kilowatt 252 Nm 2.5 litre petrol, and a 140 kilowatt 450 Nm 2.2 litre turbo diesel, which are spread out across 6 different grades.
Officially, the CX-5 Akera Turbo Petrol will sip 8.2 litres per 100 kilometres. But we didn't get anywhere near that figure in our 6 months with the car. We managed an average of 10.6 litres per 100 kilometres, largely due to the fact that we were stuck in lockdown and all of our driving was short inner city trips. Now, of course, with more freeway driving, that figure is expected to come down, but there's no denying that the punchier engine is also thirstier than some of its electrified or less powerful rivals.
Like all new Mazdas sold in 2021, the CX-5 comes with a 5-year unlimited kilometre warranty that matches the offerings from Toyota, Hyundai, Ford and Nissan. It does fall behind the longer periods available from Kia and Mitsubishi, but the Mazda warranty is standard for a mainstream brand in Australia. What isn't standard, however, are the CX-5's service intervals, which are every 12 months or 10,000 kilometres, shorter than the 12 months or 15,000 kilometres on offer from rivals such as the RAV4 and Tucson. The CX-5's 5-year service cost is also higher than competitors, totaling $2,127 in the first 5 years of ownership, compared with just $1,150 for the RAV4 Hybrid and $1,595 for the 1.6 litre turbo petrol Tucson. Coupled with the thirsty engine, Mazda's CX-5 with a 2.5 litre turbo petrol engine will cost more to run than the average mid-size SUV.
Look, I'll be the first to admit that in the last 6 months, it's been pretty hard to find some time to put the CX-5 through its paces, with Melbourne being in lockdown and all. But even those short trips to and from the shops and backwards and forwards from childcare, I can tell that this CX-5 is an absolute delight to drive. You can tell that Mazda has absolutely nailed the driving ergonomics. The seats, they're electronically adjustable, and the steering wheel can move in and out, so you can really find the perfect driving position. And from here, the instrumentation is clear and concise, and all the controls just fall easily in hand. You really can just drive for hours and hours in this position, comfortably. And once things get going, that 2.5 litre turbo petrol engine is a real gem. You can come away from the lights briskly, but never too savagely as to upset the precious cargo in the second row. Cornering is also a forte for the Mazda CX-5, largely thanks to the well set up suspension tune and communicative steering. It just does what you want it to do, and it never feels too intimidating or unapproachable with its driving dynamics. However, the CX-5's taut characteristics does mean that when you approach a pothole or a speed bump, it can send jolts and general unpleasantness throughout the cabin. I'll also make note that there is a sports mode here that will hold the gears a little bit longer, as well as an off-road mode here that will help with unpaved surfaces, but not when the terrain gets too rough. Another minor nitpick with this Mazda CX-5 is its wind and tyre noise, especially at higher speeds. And while Mazda has made huge strides in the past to alleviate this, what your ears are telling you is kind of at odds with the look and feel of the premium cabin. What was once the default choice for those looking for a family runabout has lost its luster a little in 2021. That isn't to say the Mazda CX-5 is a bad choice by any means, the competition is just well and truly caught up. Rivals are cheaper to buy, cheaper to run, and offer more space on the inside, but the CX-5 still manages to blend good value, a premium feel, and engaging driving dynamics in a very attractive package. Be sure to head to the CarsGuide website to find the full breakdown on how we got to this score. And if you don't think this car is right for you, we've reviewed hundreds of others for you to check out.